Is Soul going to be repeated, or will Omega go a different direction, or was nothing the problem, and was it just execution? Picks and bans coming up, game number 2.
Oh, but PandaCat with rotation. Desert's Fury on point.
Yo, PandaCat is on fire right now.
Purification forced by Homiefe. Homiefe trying to make it work, but Khaos definitely making it work. Morrowind takes a spill. 4 kills in total for enemy. Here
Actually going to end.
They're going to skip the Phoenix. The surprise win from enemy. Luminosity had no idea. Fresh off of the win from game number 1, enemy sticks around. EnVyUs for the second pick, so we'll see enemy rather, on the order side one more time.
Most of the picks and bans here I expect to be very, very similar to the last game, especially ban-focused as well. I don't think we'll see too many differences there from either team. Enemy certainly will be happy with what they chose to take away.
Enemy just doesn't want to deal with this Sobek. I don't know if they're worried about it in the support role from Eonic, who's very good at it. I don't know if they're worried about it in the solo lane from CycloneSpin.
I doubt that.
In the jungle from Omega.
I doubt that.
In the mid lane from MLC.
That's all Eonic. Shout out to Eonic. Sobek has been so strong that
sure.
they don't want to deal with it. They feel like it's his strongest god. They even gave him Athena last game, and it wasn't a big talk about. Maybe we'll see Eonic look towards Geb, but Geb started to drift out of the meta, which is very surprising to say that you don't see many Gebs these days, especially after everyone talking up how important the shield was from Geb at the start of the season.
I mean, it really depends on the opposition and what kind of tools the enemy has if Geb's going to make an occurrence. The Zeus ban takes place instead of the Thor ban, so that will put Thor in the hands of Varizial. Very exciting if you're an enemy fan. This guy has definitely been absolutely insane on this god. Kevin always mentions the versatility of Varizial, and Thor is definitely the god to go ahead and do that with.
For sure, and obviously with them taking out the Zeus against Khaos, it means that Varizial is going to get that Thor one more time. This, I believe, is going to be the 7th time we've seen him play that this season. Envy, however, though, going to head over to Sol and Guan Yu. So Sol, again, more than likely for Kiki, could be run by Stealth in the mid, which we've seen before. The Guan Yu, though, is to take a shot at PainDeViande. He's played this against him every single game so far this season. After 3 games, that was a talking point. So game 4, they're like, no, this is an issue.
Yeah, Guan Yu is exactly what Pain wants to do. He wants to stay in the team fight. He wants to be a part of it pretty much the entire time, and that's exactly what Guan does. PandaCat, on the other hand, going to repeat the Xbalanque. Absolutely a big fan of this. Although, honestly, my personal opinion, Hindu, you can give PandaCat anything you damn well please, and he's going to do the work.
PandaCat is just very, very strong in terms of his aggression. The only time PandaCat struggles is when he gets overly aggressive, or he gets punished for that.
How do you feel about PandaCat?
Well, you've been asked that multiple times today. I've already said how I feel about him. I've seen him in the Challenger Cup multiple times. When Vishen was on this roster, he was only on this roster of Vishen back in the day because PandaCat wasn't available to play at the time. PainDeViande is stuck with this kid for a long time. And you can see the synergy these two still have after a little bit of an extended break on that run to Wilts.
And he's just always been a talented player. Like you said, we've done the Challenger Cup many, many times, and PandaCat's just a name that has always come up. He'll be facing off against Nuwa, Naja, Guan Yu, and Sol thus far on Envy. The Nuwa is a character that I actually don't like unless MLC Stealth is playing it.
Well, against the comp they're against as well, take into account you got Xbalanque, Janus, and Thor. Multiple global abilities that are going to influence the game. The gank potential onto the Nuwa is very high, so pick something very safe, which may allow for Omega not to babysit mid and look for rotations.
Also, one of the bigger things that I like about Nuwa, what did we mention last about the objectives from enemies? Sometimes they catch you by surprise, right? Not with Nuwa. All of a sudden, nobody's around. It's a little too quiet. Let me just hit 4. I know exactly where everybody is, and the reversal can come around.
There is a benefit, though, from this for enemy as well, though, is that objective secure is probably in their favor just with the Janus alone. Across the way, there's pretty much Stellar Burst and Supernova are the 2 abilities that you're going to steal a potential Gold Fury or Fire Giant away with. Yes, Nuwa will give you the vision with the Fire Shards, but look at the other roster. They're going to be in a better position to try and deny that vision too.
Janus is interesting. Not the god that comes to mind when I think about Chaos, but it is the god when I think about MLC. So enemy stripping away the choices from Envy. Envy, on the other hand, just looking for themselves. Enemy, they're looking to keep on keeping on. Envy trying to turn it around. Game number 2 coming at you.
Benji on his own. Will they get the boot for the toggle here? A big time ultimate from Stealth Connects.
They've only gotten 1 so far. CycloneSpin finds a double. They're going to rush right in. Cyclone all the way to the back line. That's going to be a triple kill. He's going right for it. He's got the Quadra if he picks the right target. Quadra kill, looking for the big one, and it's going to be a penta.
CycloneSpin going to try and repeat that on the Amaterasu with Omega on the Naja.
Well, we got something interesting in this game which we didn't touch on just yet, but Sun Wukong by Marauder. He has now officially expanded his god pool from 4 to 5 in the SPL this season. After only playing Tier, Amaterasu, Bellona, and Vamana, he's now brought out Sun Wukong, which you have seen come out from EnVyUs this season on the side of Eager at one point and made good work of it. We'll see if he can do the same, repeat his other solo on his friend.
I like Sun Wukong a lot in this composition, specifically because of the addition of the Thor. Basically, both of these characters will be able to be spread out. Varizial will be able to do both frontline and backline activities. And so will the Sun Wukong.
Well, this is a disengage comp from Envy more than anything else. Let an enemy go for the aggression with the Thor, with the Janus. However, and the Athena, obviously, with the global as well. But what we can do in response is we can all disengage ourselves from a fight. Even Omega, to an extent, can use that ultimate to move away from a situation, or at least take himself up in the air with someone to buy his team time to reinforce, disapparate from Kiki, cavalry charge from Eonic. Every single one of these can get out of a bad situation.
Exactly. Omega, like I said, can just exile somebody for that 2.5, 3 seconds length of time that Naja takes to the sky, and that's an important factor, especially if you're able to do that to one of the characters on enemy that are going to play Protector. If you can take Varizial out, if you can take Khaos or Pain out specifically, and just isolate PandaCat, then maybe you have the opportunity.
And now with everybody heading to mid lane, as per usual, both Harpies still available for them to take on either side. Varizial and Khaos will head to the left-hand side. Duo lane, though, same old. Keep beating down here. The pressure is on, but PandaCat taking a little bit more poke this time around. Got to be careful because he's only got 3 health potions with his throwing dagger start.
Kiki, again on the soul.
And to be fair, we'll see what Kiki does with this soul this game round, because it didn't work out for me last game. They pressured him heavily. The poison's still going onto him again, as you can see, forced to use the health potion. But PandaCat a little bit low on mana now, so he's got to watch out how much they can really do. And
that's what I like about the change that Eonic made into the Guan. Great taunt coming out from Pain, just for a little bit more poke, is that the poke that you know enemy's dual lane is going to deliver because of how aggressive they've shown to be the past entire season. You understand that's coming out, and you can mitigate the poke that your hunter will take if you're on a character like Guan.
And this talk from Envy as well of the picks and ban strategy that came out for this game specifically is that they've taken Athena away from PainDeViande on every single game. The last 2 times he's played, the ban was against Athena both times. This time round, however, is Stealth going to die here? No, that portal would have confirmed it.
And it will!
No, I'll tell you what, the Unstable Vortex will.
First blood coming out from Khaos Marksman in the mid lane. Very well played. Just a little bit of poke, a little bit of poke, a little bit of poke, and then a big bang.
And when you're playing against a new wall, that's the right time to do it before she's level 5, before she's got a wave clear online significantly, before she's got the safety of her ultimate as well, and recognizing Omega wasn't around to be able to help out there, kept the pressure on.
And then the absolute right play to make in the mid lane. You go ahead and kill the mid laner, you're able to invade the back Harpies because you know for a fact that there's not the aggression. Level 5 off of the kill, and the Harpies lands on down, double stun, walled off, and Khaos again! The marksman from the mid lane finds the kill.
More often than not, the Janus is just hoping across hope that things will work out well. Worst case scenario, he can come across with that portal to help his team. Best case scenario, he gets a kill, or he helps his team disengage the fight after going in.
Yeah, I don't know if that's best case scenario. I would have loved to have my Xbalanque find that kill. But either way, 2 kills to none and just as many minutes. I'm taking that if I'm wearing black and red.
And this is for Varizial on his Thor. It's very strong. He's on the same level for me as Aninster and Gauze has been in previous years to the Thor Gauze that we saw in the old days. Right now, Varizial makes this god work. He took Power Pot at the beginning of this game, and he's used it to the full extent of it as well. Managing that kill in the mid lane early on before 3 minutes. Same again in the duo lane.
And it's wonderful to see how enemy, yes, we always talk about how they have a specific game plan in their shot calls, but that right there, that kill in the mid lane wasn't planned. That just was happenstance.
It was poke that helped out. It was poke
exactly. And the point that I'm trying to reach is that the kill in the mid lane was happenstance. It allowed them to go ahead and hit the Harpies. And once that kill happened in the mid lane, they knew enemy that they would hit level 5 with the back Harpies, and they were able to make that gank on the left side. Great audible.
Varizial just stole that red buff away from Envy as well with the double tap. Just looking for the cheeky one, found it, picked it up, and Envy going to be down a more experience in this mid lane as well now.
Very rough stuff coming out for Envy this early on. Enemy already finds himself up 1,000 gold, and You know, 1,200 gold, it's all relative, as you can say with most things in life. But when it comes to Smite, time is relative. Varizial up, he's going to find very quickly down, and a Pain's going to come with him.
That was a little bit aggressive from Varizial, though. Look at the position of his team. Nobody was around him, so I was like, this is a bit awkward. Maybe they're looking for the through space and time wombo, potentially, to come out here and look for a pick. More often than not, it was just showing presence, I guess.
Well, Pain was channeled, excuse me, Pain's ultimate was channeled on Varizial. So the idea was, Pain, ult me, I'll go up, I'll come down immediately. You have to do that very quickly to allow the Athena to follow suit.
And through space and time is available, as well as the... You saw the ult come out from PandaCat, too. They were looking for a big play, I guess. Over there's Pain is now in mid lane with that taunt, going to connect onto Omega, walled off from escape, but Omega's okay.
Gets stunned out, and the instant purification will avoid the follow-up damage. The portal gets Khaos out of the way of the ultimate from Omega. That's a one for the highlight reel.
Just a misread from Omega there for me. I mean, obviously, whenever you see Janus going towards a wall, you know what he's about to do, and just a little bit off the mark before he could catch him going through.
I mean, sure, if I'm a Najah making that play, that's definitely catchable. You can catch that Janus, but just smooth moves coming out from Khaos. This has been one of Khaos' best games in a long time.
Eonic's in a lot of trouble here. Good use of Guan though to dash away. The portal was a little bit off the mark there. He was looking for a portal on the ground, not the wall, and that's going to mean that PainDeViande will take a stumble for the mistake. However, guess what? There's more pressure coming out. They may even find another kill here. Envy are turning this around.
Varizial tries to find a way out, but KikiSoCheeky should definitely find it. Slow down, not going to hit, but Omega's on the backside, caught out by a slow from the poison darts. Trying to catch up. Heal is totally fine. Varizial's going to walk.
He's dead.
And he's dead, but what? No. Assist goes the way of Kiki.
I was going to say, it should be at least an assist. Unfortunately, Omega did not get the assist from that. Wasn't in range in time to pick that one up for himself.
You know, last game I said very rarely do we see enemy make a mistake by staying too long. Well, rarely, but not never.
That wasn't staying too long. That was a mistake. It was a mistake of dropping the kill and then having it turned on them because they carried on trying to get the kill. Normally, the call should have been, okay, give this one up. But by the time that call came through, they were already in a position for Envy to re-engage. Luckily enough, though, it wasn't as bad as it could have been because it should have been 2 kills away of Envy there.
Right.
They dropped that one on Varizial.
Yeah, Envy showing some signs of life here. Just reminding everybody, hey, look, you know, we're capable.
And Marauder picked this on Wukong this game so far. Got a decent gold lead at the moment because he's 500 with this minion wave now going into the tower there. So we're going to see a little bit drop by Cyclone. He already lost his boar in the jungle, as you just saw as well, which was taken away by Marauder there. So a nice little advantage for Sun Wukong early. It's not the be-all and end-all, though, of Amaterasu because she comes online about now.
Yeah, level 8, level 9 is when Amaterasu is not only able to clear the wave, but also when she's a little bit scarier. So you got to look out for that solo
well, it's the trades more than anything else. What you see from Marauder is he's going to poke. Oh, that's a lot of poke, actually, onto Omega. Force his ultimate out as well. And Varizial may go in the sky looking for the kill here.
Oh, he may. Now he's going to look for the red buff. Again, find the 100%. Walk away from the 25.
And that was a comms call from the team as well, say, don't do this, it's not worth it. And Varizial's like, yeah, there's 3 in mid anyway, so it's still not worth it. We will take the red, however, but they don't manage to secure anything else in the jungle, though, even though Pain is trying to stop Kiki from doing these boars.
Yeah, just the presence of Pain around here is enough. Does Pain have the damage to go ahead and steal these boars? Absolutely not. But by showing his face around here, Kiki doesn't know if he's alone. Kiki doesn't know if somebody's around the corner, so he's got to play this dancing game correctly, and then Pain's able to start it once Kiki walks away.
But they're just leaving Kiki alone here. That's the plan from Envy now. Just like, Kiki, do what you can. Try and survive, okay? Get to a stage of the game and deal some damage later on. For now, though, we're going to abandon you and look to focus elsewhere on the map. You know,
that's why the Soul choice is so appropriate here, because Soul's able to throw out just the ability and clear the wave almost completely, a couple of basics. Soul can be a very safe god. Did Kiki have a strong game last game? Absolutely
and
not.
I think that's
but he didn't feed.
Well, I said, like, he went for a mage build with the Soul last game instead of looking for enhanced. I can understand that because he's going to fall behind in golden experience in this lane, so at least he's going to have the mage damage to come out from the Stellar Burst and Supernova in a team fight and actually make an impact with that, I guess, even though he's behind.
And I mean, that's kind of standard coming out from these Souls. Very rarely do we see the basic attack builds as the ultimate from Janus already used, and a great wall from Varizial to stop the onslaught of Eonic. Just that little bit of space. Eonic got around the wall, but just that stutter step allowed everyone to walk away. The initiation from Envy completely neutered, all because of Varizial's 2 ability. Fantastic.
Varizial's in a good spot right now. 0, 1, and 2. Did pick up any of the kills, but he did get credit for both of them towards Khaos in the mid lane on the Janus, which we've not seen too much of his Janus this season so far. Mainly Zeus, Sol, and Isis has been his 3 go-tos, but bringing out the Janus, and it's working out well. The amount of global presence of this team is insane.
Hey, man, as long as it's not a Zhonghui, I'm totally fine. Last season at Worlds, we saw the Zhang Kui pick repeatedly.
But the Zhang worked through the whole tournament until finals, where they walked into the boys of Epsilon back then, and Epsilon turned around and went, "Okay, this is Ymir, and this is what he does against the Zhang Kui," and that was the only issue they had. And now this season, he's not really picked it up at all. He's been looking at all the other gods in his arsenal, which, let's be honest, is very deep. I'm surprised we've not seen any of his Agni, which shows the testament to where Agni is right now in the meta.
Exactly. Agni suffers from just a terrible early game. I mean, you really want a Magikarp Gyarados story? It's level 4 Agni to level 5 Agni. Not a surprise to see enemy one more time with the early Gold Fury. This time there will be some presence from EnVyUs, working hard to stop that presence is the support. Won't be. And it's already done. Pain spends half a second zoning out Envy, and enemy able to take out the Gold Fury. Look at this. Not even 10 minutes on the clock, and enemy are already leading by 4K.
And they might try and force someone in mid, but Eonic going to counteract that with the cavalry charge. But Omega forced to ult away. The Janus ult did come out. Varizial walled himself off after going through the portal, which was a small misplay. And this is going to wash as a fight potentially. Envy could end up coming answering back pretty heavily now.
Yeah, Marauder very low. He's forced up into the cloud. He's going to heal up just a little bit, land down, and looking for more is Eonic. But a quick bird sends the Sun Wukong a little bit safe.
PandaCat will strip away some jungle over here, but the pressure in mid lane should wash eventually here. Khaos should be able to clear out the way for the most part in mid, which means they should be able to bring down this tier 1 tower to fruition with a lack of minions here. I say that, but I forget clay minions are on this map.
Yep, and that'll help out just a little bit. The mid tier 1 tower will go down. Last game, Envy was unsuccessful doing this move. Gold Fury, and then the opposing team takes out the tower. This time, very successful for Envy.
But both times in this game, enemy have overextended and forced themselves to die in awkward situations. We saw in the jungle they hung around looking for a kill that wasn't available. Same again just happened in mid lane there. We saw Omega disengage, but on very low health. Varizial chased him through the portal and then realized that he wasn't going to be able to get there in time. And his own wall from the initial engagement cut his escape off.
Omega has had some troubles this game, and honestly, not really to any fault of his own. Enemy has just paid so much attention to this Naja. That ultimate in the mid lane was the 3rd time Omega was forced to use Windfire Wheels defensively. And that, like I said, that has nothing to do with Omega being in a bad position or him setting himself up for failure. That's enemy completely understanding the power of this Naja pick and making sure to step on its face.
And Naja not engaging for the team or being an aggressor is not a good, well, not a good sign for Naja as a whole, really.
Right.
You're wanting to be aggressive, you're wanting to set your team up. If you're having to disengage the whole time, what's your team going to have to engage with? What have they got on that team for engage? There's nothing other than a Naja, really.
Yeah, I mean, not really much. Yeah, there's the Naja, there's the Guan Yu ultimate, and I mean, like you said, that's pretty much it. I mean, CycloneSpin will be a good pick, but later on, once that late mid game, she's late.
But how obvious are these engages going to be? You've got Amaterasu, which is clear as day when that ult's coming, and you've got a few seconds to avoid the stun, which is the real engage tool at the end of it. Guan Yu on his horse. You really want to engage with that and then rely on it?
I actually think I think Cavalry Charge is one of the better engages in the game as long as Thor walls aren't around.
It can be. We'll talk about Thor walls being around. CycloneSpin in a bit of trouble there. Now under pressure behind the tier 2 tower, and with Athena dunking in 2, Gold Fury down, this should be free. You can even see Khaos is trying to get involved, but Cyclone played that so well to get out.
Omega shows up. There's a stun, ring bounce, and immediately the target switch. Love the play from Omega. He's going to land right into some damage. Marauder not able to find the kill on Marauder, but now Omega dancing in between. Won't get hit by the unstable vortex. Finds a way out. Damage pretty much spread out. MLC, the first one to start it. Marauder stayed a little bit too long.
Pain's too much after Omega here. He's still chasing for the kill, and this could be awkward and turned on him. Luckily enough, he's got Varizial in support, but this wasn't that clean from enemy here. They will come out on top of the engagement, though, I want to say, but Omega did good work there.
I mean, it's a 1-for-1. Omega has died more often. That was actually his first death. He just seems like he's been in bad spots. Envy, on the other hand, are going to keep on the chase. The ultimate coming out, and there's the wall. And that's going to stick. 1-for-1 as CycloneSpin turns it around for Khaos. So 2 separate 1-for-1s.
So Eonic there goes aggressive, but the rest of Envy don't follow up. They're not in a position with their abilities to follow him in. Eonic ends up dying, but luckily enough, Envy are able to turn it round onto Khaos, who was out of position then. And like, well, luckily enough, because your team's focused on him, we can pick you up in response.
I love that Envy is answering back every single time, though. I mean, really, enemy still has a lead here because of that Gold Fury. They were able to sneak away from Envy. But this is a much more promising game for me if I'm an Envy fan. Envy is just responding correctly. They're able to defend most objectives. Even Omega here this time around going to try and get the blue buff. And he does not. Marauder winds up picking it up.
Marauder picks it up and should be able to walk away. He's trying to hold off using any abilities because the sash will come out. And in the end, he's just going to take those camps and be fine. The big thing, though, for me, EnVy haven't engaged a single thing this game. It's been all enemy.
Two steals in the jungle, and PandaCat finds the first stack on his passive. Varizial goes up just in case PandaCat drops the kill. Nops just to head towards the mid camps.
And that's the focus that they've had on Kiki all game. It wasn't really looking for him. They were stealing jungle camps, and Kiki was the one that tried to come out and to defend. Didn't work out. Oh my gosh, Omega got absolutely annihilated.
And there's the fourth defensive ultimate coming out from Omega. Again, just happenstance. He finds the long-range Janus ult, and all of a sudden, not a good look for the young jungler.
PandaCat meanwhile on the left-hand side, just going to split push to victory, just keep the pressure up after Kiki dying. Still, respawning at the moment, Kiki's going to get a tier 1 tower for free. Nobody from EnVy able to come over here because of the pressure from enemy in the mid lane.
And that's allowing PandaCat to basically do whatever he wants, just sitting here building up the abilities, and he allows him, because of the attention that everybody's paying everywhere else but the side lane on the left side, that's what allows PandaCat to go this really greedy build of boots and then trance.
This is where the hope is right now for EnVy, is CycloneSpin on that Amaterasu. Is Omega, oh, he just avoided that damage just. Otherwise, that could have been an awkward position. Still, Omega's only level 11, so he's not got his second relic right now either, which is another thing that will help him survive and potentially engage if he goes for Blink or Sanctuary if he wants defense.
Yeah, two separate choices. Last time around in the Hun Batz, we saw a little bit more defensive play coming out with the breastplate first, item after boots. Here on the Naja, even with the 0-1-1 / I really expect to see a blink or something aggressive here.
But there's been no engages from EnVy. They've always been responsive to the engages that enemy have put forward.
Right.
We've not seen them on the front looking for the ganks themselves and initiating. It's been all enemy setting the pace of when they want to fight, and EnVy trying to answer back to the initial engagement. Sometimes it's worked out, sometimes it's not.
More aggression coming out. Lots of damage from PandaCat. Another defensive ult from Omega. Just not being allowed to really do much of anything is the jungler.
A little bit off the mark with the tilt that was PainDeViande, but the pressure onto Omega has now forced a Gold Fury attempt to be available. Marauder over this side of the map, as well as CycloneSpin with both teleports down, means no split push will happen. We may still see a fight, however.
Yeah, this one's a lot different than the previous Gold Furies. EnVy are well aware. They don't have an ultimate out of their jungler, but that's totally fine. They have one out of CycloneSpin. Purification forced out of Thor, and the Gold Fury will be leashed. MLC takes almost 600 damage from one ability out of the mage, and Kiki isolated. Can he find the kill? Yes, he can. Marauder over the top with the Jingu Bang. CycloneSpin now trying to create some distance. Eonic gets portaled. Looks like enemy going their way.
But he doesn't have his ultimate available, and immediately EnVy trying to disengage, but he's only Omega left here against the side of enemy now. Tries to slow them back with the ring toss, but they may turn their attention to him knowing that there's nobody here. You saw the preemptive purification from PandaCat in case a sash came out, but that means he's going to eat a full stun to the face, which will set up CycloneSpin to secure a kill on Pain.
Shell not enough, and PandaCat trying to go very aggressive. Still can't find the kill. Marauder still pushing the envelope. Looking for one onto Omega, cannot find it.
I don't think Omega thought he was going to get hit, interrupted then on that back, but he ended up doing so, and CycloneSpin, now isolated on the backside, will go down. Cyclone at the Gold Fury, though, made a very good play. The Gold Fury was getting low, and instead of going for the guys tanking it up and who were going to finish it off, he went for the backline, which forced the team of EnVy to drop it. Problem is that there was no response there from his boys to try and come in any further. Kiki got picked up in the end, and now the Gold Fury goes that way of enemy anyway.
6.3 in the lead is enemy, and that is no mistake. That is no accident. They've been calculating and making these plays, and honestly EnVy has been able to keep up until this point, and Khaos might be out a little bit too hard. Eonic knows how important that these kills are. Looking for it all by himself, and he'll find it. The support being aggressive this time around. Sometimes you got to be your own carry.
In the mid lane, though, the other mid laner is in trouble as well, as Stealth gets all in by Marauder, pretty much solo kin there. Omega now turns up to hit Marauder, but Athena dunking in could turn this round.
There's the ring bounce from Omega. Bounce a bunch of minions, not actually the gods that Omega really wanted. And CycloneSpin shows up, stunning out Marauder. Damage from the mirror as well, but he gets knocked up. And that's a Sun Wukong who finds his way to safety. And
Cyclone used everything he could to get in range there, so it means Marauder's trying to juke out the dash coming out from Cyclone here, trying to survive, but the in-hands will be enough if he can find him. PainDeViande trying to body block, no taunt available just yet for a second. They're trying to keep him busy under the tower. Cyclone misses the dash. That'll be the forced disengage.
Very tanky on this Amaterasu. You can see the build, the breastplate into the Urchin, which only has one stack. And starting to build into that cudgel. Varizial chases Kiki into the jungle and finds one for himself as well. Everybody on the side of enemy is positive except for the support, and he's got 5 assists above 2 deaths.
It's becoming a bit of a mess now, this game as well. Enemy are just winning out every single trade, and Envy getting themselves in awkward positions, not able to group up as a team. Find the initiation. Cyclone on the backside here, going to take a while to die, but he will still die, as every single fight now, 1v1s, 2v2s, 2v1s are going the way of enemy.
Yeah, I mean, really just cue the weeds. This has just been a sweater song, honestly. One pull of the thread. We saw Envy really keep up, and now this is what's happening. Snowball is probably the incorrect term. It's more like just a boulder rolling down the hill. Enemy at one point was just able to sneak away and just take it. And now Envy just look disjointed, and they're not really in the same conversation that enemy are having.
Because they've got all the cooldowns on different timers as well. Everybody using their skills defensively most of the time means that, like as you saw from the ult there from Stealth, they're using it defensively, which means they're not on the same page to try and force anything out from the team. Phoenix going to fall in mid at 18 minutes in. Enemy looking so good.
First Phoenix of the game going the way of enemy. They'll head towards the left side of the map. Whether or not that means a tower is a different story. The jungle certainly on the menu. Khaos, Panda, and Varizial leading the charge. The 2 tanky members of enemy keeping up the back line, making sure nobody surprises them from behind. Enemy not willing to go for the tower without any minions. Will push up the wave, and now they're looking for something.
And this is all confidence from enemy now, sieving through them. They've been #1 in the season so far. This will definitely put them #1 for a while before the game against Thor. But look at this Cyclone trying to force something, anything.
And he's going to force a kill onto PandaCat unless Varizial can answer in time. Nice spacing, nice body blocks, and PandaCat does fall. But Khaos answers immediately back with a kill onto the jungler, and MLC Stealth finds Pain. Varizial up in the sky looking for what was Cyclone at one point, and now Kiki waiting out the disapparate, and then falling directly on the Mage Hunter. There's the spin to win at the double tap. Not enough to find the kill. And Kiki turns it around.
And this is the problem that enemy have always suffered with, and they've been punished in 1 or 2 occasions for it this season. This is an opportunity for envy to actually get a couple of towers back out of this.
Oh, yeah.
But what they will do is they have this they don't have sacrificial lambs on this team. They all go down together. One member gets caught, they try and keep him alive. That person falls, and then they end up getting picked off themselves because they're in an awkward position. Another team member comes in to try and save them. Varizial there kind of tried to help out a teammate, which I don't think he needed to do there.
Right.
And in the end, he pays the price.
And this is the response. Envy are able to bark down the tower. They're looking for more, but don't forget, they're down 10,000 gold.
That's the key. That's the key, is the gold differential between the two. So this allows enemy to, make a couple of mistakes, but still not be punished as much as it could be because the damage is so high.
I mean, look at that. Do more boots, Chronos Pendant, and the shard. That's a lot of damage, and Marauder going to finish up MLC Stealth as well. 15/9. Enemy in the good spot on this one. 53,000 gold to 44 for Envy. And right now, enemy looking very, very strong and poised to take game number 2 as well.
Looking strong and poised, completely agree with that. However, it's not been as clean as the game 1 was from my point of view. Enemy have made a couple of little decision-making where they've been a little bit over-aggressive. And maybe that's just confidence I want to say more than anything else. They've not been aggressed on either in this game or last game. So now they're like, well, let's just keep forcing things because it keeps coming up our color every time.
I mean, we saw the surrender vote show up last game, right? That game was super clean by enemy, and hopeless isn't a word that I like to use too often, but it looked bleak, to say the least. This game around, Envy, they're still in this one. We're seeing these wins. They're down a lot, and it's going to take a lot, but Envy can still bring this one home if all goes right.
Well, contest on to the ball from PainDeViande, but the rest of his team are doing the Fire Giant right now. Varizial's wall being down, though, he's going to leave an opportunity for Eonic to swing in here. He's pretty good at Fire Giant securing if he looks for it, but instead he looked for damage. Go for Fire Giant, he's still available. He goes away of enemy.
There's the launch out from the Mage. Eonic now in some trouble. Up in the sky goes Omega, taking one with him. He'll fall down as well. Nobody dead just yet. There's a Supernova. Doesn't really find anybody, but Varizial gets the kill onto the jungler. Omega just not as tanky as he's used to. Kiki very low. Can PandaCat find it? No range, but Varizial comes down from the sky. 2, 3! No, baby, that's a triple.
It's a triple, but it was all Khaos that did the work coming through the portal. All he had to do was land from the sky, pick up the kill, and with that, enemy can march on again. The middle Phoenix is about to respawn. If they want to, they could potentially look for an end. It's not that out of the question here with a full fire minion wave with them as well. They're looking for it, you know. Here we go. Can Enemy 2-0 Envy again?
I mean, that's the question, and Enemy want to answer yes. CycloneSpin on the front side looking for chaos, but so much damage coming out of the Janus. There's CycloneSpin. He does take him out, and there's some more onto the Titan. Still not half HP. Envy defending very well. Double kill for the solo lane CycloneSpin. Chaos Titan still up. There's 2 more from Envy. 4 members dead for Enemy. No longer a good push. Not the win just yet. Looking for the deicide. Marauder slowed. He's going to go up into the ultimate. But there's no chance of Sun Wukong soloing a Titan with 6,000 HP.
Well, there is now a chance for Envy to look towards the Fire Giant respawns for a very long time. If Marauder, though, can survive and keep them as busy as he is doing, it delays every single second.
Yep.
Great ult from Kiki to stop the teleport. They can still do Fire Giant now. That was key. Marauder was trying to buy time for his team to respawn. This should be Envy looking potentially for, I should say a Fire Giant. It's not even available. Gold Fury. They need to find some objectives out of this. Maybe a tier 2 tower in mid lane, but if they go for tier 2 in mid, then Janus is going to be up in 2 seconds. This could be a chaos snipe here.
Exactly. If you're Envy, you realize that because of the good job that Marauder did, there's no way you can get the tower and then the Phoenix. The conversion is just too hard. Forget about Pain, it's Chaos and Varizial, and that's going to be problematic. The Gold Fury, on the other hand, that's free 50 free, and Envy are able to go ahead and shorten up the deficit to just about 6,000 gold, which is, again, that's a fight you can take.
A little bit too late on the ultimate there from Chaos. He was looking for the cheeky snipe, lined himself up, but it was already down. You also saw PandaCat use his ultimate as well, trying to follow up in case they did find something off that, but they don't. What they will find, though, is the red buff. Slowed the game down for a moment. He's not slowed the game down by much with the Fire Giant now being off all the members of Enemy as well. Just wait for the next respawn of it.
That was a very important defensive set from Envy. Sure, just throw out the scoreboard real quick. That's just the statement. That's saying, all right, you guys trying to be a little bit cheeky, you're coming in here. We're still Envy.
I agree. That was more Enemy, though, that overplayed their hand. They stuck around too long. Chaos got attacked by Cyclone. The team ignored him completely, looking to deal damage to the Titan at first, and then they switched to trying to kill players. And by switching to kill players means they lost the opportunity to end the game there.
Without a doubt, Enemy making their second swing up, realizing that they probably need a little bit more help. Going to go ahead and take out the tier 2 tower uncontested, as it should be from Envy. I want to see Envy defend against the Phoenix, but Enemy understand, hey, look, last time we rushed in, the Titan had far too much HP. We're going to take everything off the map.
Well, this time they got a couple of shutdowns there as well, did Envy, so that gives them a bit more bonus. Go one more time. This time around, Enemy will just strip the towers completely off the map and then head to the Fire Giant and look for one more fight. Because last time they fought the Fire Giant, it went perfectly in their favor, and then they nearly ended off it.
Yeah, 7,000 gold was what the lead was stripped to after the Gold Fury and deicide from Envy. But with a couple of towers, one on the left, one on the right, and about to be 2 on the right, although Envy wanted to defend here, and I like that play.
Thom comes out, going to connect on Cyclone. He was very tanky, but not that tanky anymore. He got squished to half health. Eonic off the mark with the cavalry charge stun. Varizial goes to the sky, and Envy are grouped up for the heals, and they know that he may come down at any moment.
This time around, PandaCat's ult was used defensively, and Varizial doesn't find a target. Envy know better. They're going to fight under the Phoenix, but they've made their push. They've made their statement. They take the ultimates off of the table for Enemy, or at least the important ones when it comes to engagement.
But keep an eye on PainDeViande, the taunt. That's the big important one that'll come out again. If you could just walk up and find it, there you go. There's some poke on Eonic. Not much though, but on the right hand side, Kiki half health already. Cyclone forced to engage. Ultimate is out. Pain's going to be the focus. The only one he can really get in range of is Marauder, forced to ult as well.
And Envy successfully defend their Phoenix against Enemy's onslaught. All 5 members up. And like I said, very big deal that Thor and Xbalanque Ultimate were unavailable.
And the big key there was that was Enemy looking at whether or not they could try and force a Phoenix. If they could get a pick and force a Phoenix, cool. If not, we allow some extra pressure in mid lane again for a few more seconds. And we're still waiting for the Fire Giant to spawn anyway, so we're not losing anything by doing this as long as we don't get picked off. And they don't.
Enemy now, they're looking again for a play on the Fire Giant. This time around, they don't have the luxury of having all those fire minions pouring into the enemy base. Envy will likely be here to cause the fight. You can see that mid lane Phoenix already respawned, so Envy has all of their defenses back up and ready to go. Fire Giant has been started, but Envy are here this time.
And Omega already been hit by through space and time, almost I should say, but poked to half health for Varizial in this guy's PandaCat, trading out with CycloneSpin, gets some support from his team. Look at the collapse from enemy, pick off the target, support the team, but Cyclone well aware of it.
No stun coming out from Cyclone off of a good purification from the jungler. Varizial walls off though, Khaos gets the first kill on one, PandaCat gets a second, and still coming down is Eonic. Double stun on the backside, but front side, Kiki's in trouble. Khaos, so much Damahe coming out from the mid laner, 2 kills for the 50 stack Janus.
3 kills for Khaos, and that will be the end of the game. Only Cyclone left alive to try and defend this. They should be able to end here. Luckily enough, though, Phoenix in mid lane did just respawn. You can see how far up the minions are pushed, so they'll have to do this with just normal minions. They should have plenty of time to do so, though, and look to close out the game.
Yeah, this one's a much different story than the last time around, Hindu. We saw a couple of players still up, a couple of players respawning. This time, everybody's dead. Omega's up in 5 seconds, and it's just not enough. Chaos Titan already toasted 2-0. Enemy put Envy, roll swaps and all, in the ground.
And Envy, for me now, this split is going to look like a rebuild in Season for them.
Sure. Rebuild,
ready for the next split, get themselves up to par in the roles that they've switched to once again, especially with the meta changes coming through as well. We'll see how that works out with MV2. It's going to be a rebuild season. Enemy, though, well, I expected it to be a rebuild season at the start of the season. Completely different story. PainDeViande and Khaos brought on 3 more members, and they worked. They worked the same way as Enemy did last year.
And Game 2 is pretty much the same as Game 1. Really, the core of this enemy squad is all about the unit. There's not a single player that necessarily stands out, and that's a good thing if you ask PainDeViande. Let's take a look at some of the plays that they started with this Gold Fury. There just isn't any combat.
This is just an early Gold Fury call because they realized they were clearing the wave in mid lane. There was no wall coverage from either team here, but Enemy just recognized they had the opportunity. Nobody was there in time, and Stealth, well aware as we tune in with him, that you saw Eonic was alongside him. No one knew that was going on, and they weren't going to be able to respond in time.
A team play call to team combat. Varizial takes one to the sky, but this is totally not the point. That's Varizial. Awesome. Nice Jiffy Cat. But watch this. The escape after the fact, or lack thereof. CycloneSpin takes out Khaos, and look, oh, nice, a portal. Now CycloneSpin gets out. Absolutely not. Varizial and Marauder combined.
And not only that, they do get Omega off this fight, but they still manage to all get out as well afterwards and continue trying to pressure on. This is a team that is listening to the shot calling, and I said that again. Listen to the shot calling, but also follow the shot calling. Even if it's right or wrong, they all do it as a unit. And when they do, Enemy look like one of the most dangerous teams in North America.
Yeah, they're allowed to all-out collapse on a single player right there, and that, again, translates directly into what would be one of the more important objectives in that game, starting the big separation, what allowed Enemy to go ahead and make such a clean game #1.
And the big thing about Enemy as well for me is that last time round, like last season, I wanted to say we ended up finding a superstar on the team with Vicium to an extent, and obviously you had Salt Machine over in the solo lane. This time round, I call this more of a unity team. Like, everybody performs, and everybody has their own little points that they put to make this team so strong as it is.
I mean, you've got PandaCat, and you can look at PandaCat, but one of the things that I think that Enemy has to their benefit going into season #2 is last year it was all Pain, and Pain has had some issues as far as his gameplay is concerned. I mean, people have even tried to replace him, right? This time around, Pain and Khaos have combined, and they become sort of those players for the 3 rookies to really look up to, and they set the example.
Khaos has always been a solid player in the mid lane, though. Time and time again, we've not seen much Janus out from this season, but every time people just seem to, like, sleep on him a little bit is the big talking point. Other people overshadow him, I guess, on the commentary side of things and from the fans at home who are looking at this team. But Khaos is always in there, always doing what he does best.
Exactly. PainDeViande can get lost because he's a support. You're not going to wind up on the highlight reel. But Khaos certainly does. We see 2 out of him. And then here's Marauder. Watch how he just avoids everything. It's not always about the kills and the damage. Sometimes it's about escape.
Well, this is when Cyclone was trying to all in him, and he lives for such a long period of time here. Notice how he's waiting for his Ox to come back up and uses it as soon as all the abilities have come out from Cyclone already. Doesn't want to get hit by a stun or a silence while he's trying to get away from that. And then this is just, wait, guys, I need help. And guess who's there? His boy, his leader, his captain, PainDeViande, to help him out.
Yeah, I mean, this is what's so much fun about Smite. There's no auto attack. It's all about how well you can juke. And here, ooh, baby, a triple. I love this play coming out of Varizial. He finds one, like you said. The third one he just sort of landed on. But
it's actually Khaos that ends up finding most of the time. I don't think this is actually the one, maybe. We saw the first kill pick up, and then the wall and double tap is good. As he goes up to the sky, watch Khaos. He goes through and hits all of them with the unstable vortex. That's what gets them all low and allows Varizial to crash in and pick up his triple.
And there's another one right there with the spin to win. 3 kills for Varizial. Shout outs to the Thor player here. Looked fantastic in game #2. Honestly, looked great in game. These guys, they just always look good, man.
Enemy top 3 for me this. Now, they're definitely top 3. I was sleeping on them for the whole season, I'll be honest. My predictions, I put them today of like where I expect teams to finish. Enemy should make it to DreamHack, especially with the start they had, but also the way they consistently look. The issue is will they be number 1? And, well, they've got Saw next.
That's really the thing. Let's take a look at what DreamHack has and exactly what's going on here. It's the summer 2016, summer 16. And basically what the deal is, this is sort of our mid, it's not finals, it's right in between. 9 teams get invited to the Smite Masters, $250,000 on the line. That's 3 from NA, 3 from EU, a couple from China, a couple from Latin America as well. And then, of course, the new game, Paladins. We'll be casting that later on today. 4 teams get invited there, 100 grand to launch off one of the bigger events that we're going to do for Paladins just yet. If you haven't bought tickets just yet, you can pretty much forever. Tickets.dreamhack.se, and you can find out your way to get there.
Definitely, really good position to be in. Let's go to the standings, though, and see how that influences the shape of things in North America just after today. Enemy climbed to 12-4 with that lead over Saw. Now, Saw do have a chance to come back at them, though, in the next set.
Right, like you said, 12-4 is where Enemy's at. They've now pushed ahead, and they've solidified the #1 position where they last shared with Soar. It's up to Soar now to take 2 wins and match that again. That's who we're going to see up next. 245, well, it doesn't really matter. We're going on to it very, very soon. We're going to take a brief break, but before we go, Soar and Enemy. This one's tough. Who you got?
I'm split right now. Overall, this season, I expect Saw will come out on #1 and just squeak out Enemy, I think. But I think this is a split here.
Is Hinduman right? I don't know. Protect your FP. Vote for the winners. We'll see you in a few.
Here's the winners.